I'm Silver. It is Monday, July 29th. I just wanted to say a quick hello to all new viewers and an awesome welcome back must also go out to all returning viewers. If you tuned in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. You can actually find me on Ravelry as Silverluna2112, at Silver's Treats on Instagram, and at Silver Knitting on Twitter. A quick note before we get started. I'm sorry, I actually didn't record last week due to multiple days of migraines that pretty much knocked me for a loop. I actually at one point completely lost track of what day it was. And since I have been pretty much off social media platforms all week as I recovered from those dumb migraines, I didn't even notify everyone I wasn't coming, so I am so sorry. I wanted to apologize for that. I honestly think that being off social media and everything did help, as I did kind of woke up this morning a lot more alert than I have been. Let's just put it that way. And this is actually a pretty good sign, right? Anyway, how have you all been? I do have lots to talk to you about, so I should probably get started, right? Just grab your drink of choice, you are knitting and crafting, and away we go. Today, I'm actually going to be drinking a nice cup of white chocolate brownie coffee by San Marcos, and eventually some black cherry seltzer water for later on, correct? All right, let me just take a quick drink and we will move on. Oh, I love this coffee. This is my second cup of the day, so hopefully that'll also help clear the cobwebs, right? Let's move on to my favorite things. I have to say, first thing, I enjoyed myself a lot the weekend that Mercury, Zelda, and her husband Lag were here. After we recorded Saturday the 13th, we did go out to a local tavern to us called the J. Timothy's. We then spent Sunday kind of hanging out and playing video games that we had bought after our lunch out at J. Timothy's. We did a lot of Grubhubbing, actually, after that. I did try to document as much as I possibly could on Facebook and Instagram that weekend, but I was mostly too busy having fun, let's be honest. I'm going to try to include as many of my photos and stuff after the final credits of this week's episode. I know I included some last week. I'm not too sure which ones, but either way, those will be directly after the credits. Let's see. Oh yeah, MTA and I also went out to dinner with my sister, her fiance, my mom, and my dad for my sister's birthday at a place in Waterbury called Verde. It was honestly so much fun. The food was really good and the waitress was super helpful. The restaurant itself was dealing with a lot of flooding issues. Duh. It was a lot of rain that day. And what amounted to some major power outages. But they tried to make the occasion extra special because, her birthday and all. We also had some cupcakes from Sweet Maria's, and the waitress was able to find a lighter for us because none of us had come prepared with one. I didn't take any photos directly, but if I can get permission from my sister's fiance, I will use his Facebook photos, and I'll make sure to put them after the credits as well. Wow, that's a lot, right? Let's move on to FOs. Yes, I did manage to finish a couple of things over the past couple weeks, you guys, even with my head kind of on fire. The first one I finished was what I called Infinitely Awesome. This was something that you have not seen, and I managed to finish in under 5 days for Harry Potter House Cup. This got me 500 yards also for Stash Dash. The pattern I used on this one was the Upstairs Downstairs, a column 3 sizes pattern by Paula Emmons Fuzel. This pattern's been out for a while. I've done this pattern multiple times, and I fall in love with it every time I knit it, you guys. The yarn I used on this one was the Hayfield Baby Blossom DK in the colorway 366, which is actually a white with a little bit of speckle of purples and blues. Oh, I do. I love the way that this came out, and it has the little speckles, but the speckles are pretty much striped in. I'm looking at it right now. It's hard to look away, you guys. Either way, I did knit these on a size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter on my 24-inch Marvel Circs. And I did house the whole project in my orange magic bag by the Knitted Broomstick. And the second thing that I did manage to finish since the last time we talked was what I called Hermione's Happiest Secret. These were also better known as my July Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. I did get 286.4 yards for Stash Dash on this one. The pattern, I did mix two different patterns together kind of for a potion class for Harry Potter House Cup again. I mixed together the Hermione's Secret pattern by Kat Johnson and the Vanilla is the New Black pattern by Anika Fletcher that I really like because of that heel. I really love that heel. And as I mentioned, I did use Desert Vista Dyeworks Viso base in the colorway The Happiest Place on Earth. And for this project, I did use a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter, 9-inch circulars for the majority of the socks. And I did switch over to two 16-inch circulars for the toes as well. If you are knitting or crocheting something that needs counting, now would be the time to stop because I'm going to rattle off some numbers for my totals for Stash Dash. All right, so what these two FOs mean is that I do have a total of 17,382 yards or 15,594 meters total. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how much I've done even over the past couple weeks. You guys, I have two hose. Yes, I have two half objects. The first one was what I called a Ray of Sunshine. This pattern was the Toe Up Socks with a Difference by Wendy D. Johnson. I did use Patton's Croy Greener Pastures. And I used size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter 9-inch circulars. I have yet to cast on the second toe, which I probably should do later, right? Let's see. Oh, yes. And the second half object I have was what I called Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Silver Style. This is actually new since the last time we talked as well. The pattern I used for this glove is the 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots fingerless mitts by CC Almond. And I'm using a Hayfield Baby Blossom DK in their colorway 350, which is a very pink and it's got speckles in it as well. Oh, I love the way that these are coming out, you guys. And I am using a size US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter 9-inch circular Haya Sharps. And then when I did get to the thumb gusset, I ended up having to go to DPNs because there are decreases from the bottom to the thumb gusset there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I did house this in my coffee bag by Molly Klein Designs. Let's move on to what I am currently working on. The first did get a small amount of love since the last time we talked. It's what I called July 2019's washcloth. This pattern I'm using for all year on all of my washcloths this year is the Grandma's Dishcloth by PJ Allen. I am using Knit Picks Dishy. I'm currently working in the blush colorway. And all year long, I'm going to be knitting these on a size US 6, which is a 4.0 24-inch marble circs as well. Let's see. Oh, another new cast on since the last time we talked is what I called My Flat White is Magical. This is something I am making for Mercury Zelda. She knows she picked the colorways herself and the pattern. And the pattern on this one is the Flat White Wrap by CC Almond. And I am using Sweet Georgia Yarns Tough Love Sock in the Magician colorway. I have 3 skeins of this colorway, and I'm thinking about trying to use all of it. We'll see how well it goes, right? Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I am using a size US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter Haya Sharps. They are the 40-inch cables that I have. Ugh, love these. And this is actually being housed in my spring bag by Fat Squirrel Fibers. This is the bag that I did get last year at SSK. I was kind of having a little bit of a FOMO moment, so I decided to put this project in that bag. If you're wondering, FOMO is fear of missing out. Anyway, I digress. Oh yes, another thing that I did manage to get a little bit of love put on this since the last time we talked was what I called Flower Power Spiral Silver Style. This is another pattern that I am doing with Mercury Zelda. The pattern I'm using on this one is the Mystic Spiral Socks by Josh Rikes Robinson. And we are using West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in the Wildflower colorway. Ugh, I love these stripy socks, you guys. I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars right now, until I get to the heel, and then I might be switching over to 16-inch circulars just to do the heel, depending on kind of how I'm feeling at the time. That's pretty much how that goes. Let's see. Oh yes, I did put a fair amount of love, actually an entire side of my Scraptastic DVD blanket. I have gotten actually into that corner too, anyway. So I am using the 10-stitch blanket pattern by Frankie Brown. For this project, I have been using miscellaneous Desert Vista Dye Works yarn colorways. Currently, I am using Poodle Skirt. The plan for this project is to use up the remaining yarn from each of the the knit along colorways that I've been using over the past 2 years, and then I will also be doing the same for next year as well. So it's gonna be one large blanket. I don't know how I'm gonna finish it yet, but I have some time. What do you think? Either way, I am actually using a size US 5, which is 3.75 millimeter. I have been using my carbon straights for the pickup of all the stitches on the sides. That way I can kind of fit them all, and I've been using DPNs to go through the corners as well. It's kind of a little bit of a trick that I picked up for myself, because yeah, I am horrible at picking up stitches. So if I pick them all up in one go, I have a better chance of getting them all right. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the last thing that did get a fair amount of love since the last time you guys saw it was what I called Fiery Voyageur. This is as you guessed, this is the Voyageur pattern by Martina Bam. I have now gone through the first colorway, which is the Apple Tree Knits Plush Fingering in the Firefly colorway. And now I'm actually also adding in Apple Tree Knits their Glisten Fingering in the Tangled Gradient. Ugh, I love this colorway. The Tangled Gradient is actually 65% merino and 35% like rayon from bamboo. This goes from a light pink all the way up to like dark pinks, and then into it goes into a gradient of gray. Eventually I will be adding in a third gradient later, but I will discuss that when I get there. I have been using a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter, and that was actually for the very beginning part of the shawl, and now I've moved on to US 3s, which is a 3.25 millimeter on 32-inch circulars. They are also carbons. Must get more coffee. Ooh. Hold on. Oh, that is so good. Okay. Radio Gaga. Okay. I'm going to say up front, I really didn't listen to much over the past few weeks. The only thing that I've been listening to pretty much on repeat over the past weeks was Hot August Nights 2 by Neil Diamond. I'll explain more of that later on. But basically, I've been spending a lot of my time over the past fortnight listening to audiobooks, and I will tell you which ones of those in a few moments. So speaking of audiobooks, let's move on to Silver's book pile. I have finished a total of 9 books since the last time we talked to you guys. I did finish Affliction by Laurel K. Hamilton, as well as Her Dancing, as well as Jason, Dead Ice, and Wounded, all by Laurel K. Hamilton. And then this past week, maybe week and a half, I have gotten it in my head that I really wanted to read through all the Harry Potter books up to the book that the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast is currently doing. So I'm getting there. I'm almost done. I, so far, have gotten through Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, then Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and then Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And then I did just finish Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire on Saturday. I did after that start Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So I'm currently listening to that one. It is the Jim Dale version. I absolutely love the way that he is acting throughout it. But let's see. Oh, and speaking of what I'm also currently reading, I am currently reading Crimson Death by Laurel K. Hamilton. And also, I did read chapter 1 of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I thought that Harry Potter and the Sacred Text was starting this past week with chapter 1, so I read the chapter and then realized, nope, they're just doing a, hey, what we're looking forward to kind of thing, but that's neither here nor there. I am ready for next week, can you tell? Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. I have been doing a fair amount of binge watching if I can over this past couple weeks, mostly because that's what my brain really wanted. I did watch some Glee, some Doctor Who, but I have been mostly watching Stargate SG-1. I am currently up to episode 5 of season 6. Oh wait, no, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm further into season 6 and I thought I'm like onto the second disc, so that'd be episode 8. Wow. Whoa. Anyway, I have also been watching A Lie to Die For, which is one of my new favorite shows, and Buried in the Backyard. What I did find a couple days ago, actually, was a new show called The Unexplained that does have William Shatner as a host in it, you guys. I mean, come on. It was totally worth it. On the History Channel, no less. I totally recommend it, you guys. I've only watched the first 2 episodes because those are the last, the only 2 that they have available. But I will be watching this next Friday when it comes out again. When the next episode comes out. Wow. Let's see. I did watch one movie over the past couple weeks, which was the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. I enjoyed that much more than I thought I would, but it was pretty cute. Let's see. Oh, and over the past couple days, I have managed to try to catch up on a few more podcasts that I normally watch, including the Knit Girls, Dramatic Knits, the Geek Girls Knit podcast, as well as Adore Knits, Tea and Possibilities, Mad Fuzzy, Knit Sense, Round the Twist with Karen, Stitching the High Notes. She had 2 episodes. Let's see. The Knitters League, Unseen Strands, and Knit 3 Together. Wow. Yeah, I've been a little bit busy over the past couple of days once the migraine fog lifted. All right, we have come to the end of the road. I am pretty social. You can find me on a Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. On Ravelry, I am Silverluna2112. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver'sDreamland. On Instagram, I am Silver's Treats. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. This does exclude the Instagram DMs, as I still really cannot read those on my phone. Sorry. But if you don't hear from me within 24 hours after leaving me a message, just please feel free to go ahead and email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. And as always, everything that I talk about can be found at the show notes at www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com. I will also put an abbreviated version of the notes directly below. Okay, I have rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in any discussion or start your own on the Silver's Dreamland Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. If you are feeling generous, please feel free to go ahead and hit the like button below this video so that others can find my show as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe too. And please just stay tuned for episode 78 on the 5th. Until next time, happy crafting.